Welcome back. Today, we're jumping into one of the most critical skills in any service job, how to turn a bad experience into a fantastic one. We're going to master the art of professional service recovery, specifically how to handle compensation and find solutions when you're speaking Spanish. Let's do this.
So, imagine this. A guest comes to your desk and says these exact words. This isn't just a complaint, you know? This is what we call a moment of truth. What you do in the next 30 seconds, well, it could either save the day or lose a customer forever. This is where the real pros shine.
So, when you're faced with an upset guest, what's your first move? Here's a hint. It's not immediately jumping to a solution. The first and most important step is to just pause, acknowledge their problem, and show that you actually understand their frustration. We have to show them we're on their team before we can fix anything. Now, to handle these moments with grace, you need the right tools. So let's build out your professional toolkit with some essential Spanish phrases. And these aren't just words to say. These are phrases that actively solve problems and bring the tension way, way down. At the heart of our toolkit is this one word, compensation. And let's be clear, this is so much more than just an apology. It's a real, tangible action you take to make things right. It could be a late checkout, a better room, maybe a discount. It's all about restoring that balance and proving you value them. Okay, think of these phrases as your secret weapons. You always lead with lo siento por las molestias. That shows you're listening. Then you pivot from the problem to the solution with Queremos ofrecerle una solución. But honestly, my favorite one here, it's ¿qué opción prefiere? Why? Because it puts the guest right back in the driver's seat. These aren't just words, they are your power tools. All right, we've got the tools and we understand the basic idea. So now let's see how it all fits together. You're about to watch a masterclass in how a true professional can take these simple phrases and completely turn a bad situation around. And here we go, right out of the gate. The receptionist doesn't argue, doesn't make excuses. The very first words are an apology that acknowledges the guest's problem. That immediately sends a message of respect and says, I'm here to help. And just listen to the guest's response. Gracias. You can literally feel the tension start to melt away. That one simple, upfront apology has already opened the door for a productive conversation instead of a full-blown argument. This is just perfect execution. First, empathy. Entiendo, I understand. Then, the pivot. Queremos ofrecerle una solución. And they follow it up immediately with a specific, concrete offer. This is exactly how you move from just hearing about a problem to actively fixing it. And this is the master stroke. This is what separates good service from truly great service. It's not just one solution. It's a second, generous offer. They're not just fixing the noisy room. They're making up for the bad night's sleep. This is how you create a loyal customer for life. And finally, you close the loop with total clarity. The receptionist confirms both solutions, leaving zero room for doubt or confusion. The guest can walk away feeling completely confident that their issue is resolved. Beautiful. Of course, not every situation is the same. Your toolkit has to be flexible. Sometimes all you need to do is offer a small discount. Other times, a simple courtesy gift does the trick. And often, the best approach is to present two options and let the customer choose. See how those core phrases are the key that unlocks all these different solutions? Okay, we've gone through the theory, we've watched the pros in action, but now it's all about making this knowledge your own. It's time to shift gears from just learning to actually doing. Let's get you ready to handle these moments yourself. So let's run a quick drill. A guest says, habitación ruidosa, noisy room. What's your professional move? You're already thinking, check availability and manage a room change. Exactly. Okay, what about a customer who's just generally unhappy? How do you handle that? You pull out that key phrase, ¿qué opción prefiere? And empower them with the choice. This is how you start thinking like a pro. All right, time for a quick pop quiz to make sure this is really sinking in. You've just offered a guest a room change or maybe a discount. Now you need to hand the decision back to them. How do you ask, what option do you prefer? Take a look at the screen. Is it A, B, or C? And you got it. The answer is, of course, B, ¿qué opción prefiere? This phrase is so incredibly powerful because it totally transforms the dynamic of the conversation. You're no longer just someone fixing a problem, you're a collaborator working with the customer to find the best solution. It's an absolute game changer. So, let's end with this one big question. We focused on Spanish today, but this principle is universal. In any language, what's the real key to turning a complaint into a compliment? It's not just the solution you offer. It's that moment a customer feels truly heard, respected, and empowered. That, right there, is the real art of service recovery.